Hi, my name is Amelia and I'm an art teacher with Artists for Kids in the North Vancouver School District. We're excited to begin the new school year and we hope that you had a great summer. This fall, we're going to be bringing you a new series of art activity videos called AFK ArtReach. And we will be releasing these videos every other Wednesday. And in these videos, we're going to be showing you some different art activities that you can do at home, at school, and in many cases outside. And we'll be posting all of these videos on the AFK website. Many of the ArtReach videos that we'll be releasing this year will be inspired by the artwork that you see around me here. I'm in the Gordon Smith Art Gallery, and our teaching exhibition this year is all about play. And so in our videos and in this exhibition, we're looking at ways that artists play in order to create works of art. Today I'm going to share with you the artwork of 3 Canadian artists. All of these artists have played with the idea of the still life. A still life is a work of art that depicts objects that are not moving. And this often includes food and things like flowers, books, or vases. So in the artwork that we'll look at, we'll see that the artists have played with this idea of the still life. They've also played with the frame, and they've played with food. So inspired by the work of all of these 3 artists, we're going to consider the following question. How does playing with the frame create meaning in art? We'll begin by looking at this print by a Canadian artist named Mary Pratt. She was a painter, well known for her portraits of everyday life. She would paint things like her own dinner, or cracked eggs, or jars of jam. And she paid close attention to lighting in her artworks and also used vivid colors often. So here she's represented a watermelon. So take a close look at this print. How has she framed this image? What stands out most to you about it? What do watermelons make you think of? And how would you describe the colors that she's used? So now we'll look at an artwork by a Canadian artist named Ian Backstrand. And he's a conceptual artist, and he plays with ideas to create sculptures, installations, and photographs. So if we take a look at the artwork beside me here, he has also portrayed everyday objects like we saw in Mary Pratt's image over here. So he's showing watermelon as well. Look closely at this artwork. What do you notice? What materials have been used? How has the artist drawn attention to different parts of the image? And how has he used frames to do this? We will now look at 2 photographs by Vancouver-based photographer BIRTHE PIONTEK. BIRTHE has often worked with AFK to offer enrichment workshops for senior art students from the North Vancouver School District. And BIRTHE's artwork explores identity as well as memory. Look closely at this photograph. Here we see watermelon once again. What do you notice about this image? Where is your eye drawn? What kind of lighting has been used? And what kind of space is this? What connections are there between the body part and the watermelon? And where have you seen photographs that use a similar type of lighting and composition? Now look at this image. What do you notice? What is this vegetable? Why do you think the artist has included a vegetable paired with the body part? Today we're going to create our own still life photographs. And like the artists we've just looked at, we're going to play with the idea of the still life. And we're also going to play with incorporating food and other natural objects into our art. You'll need some simple materials to carry out your art activity today. Firstly, you will need what's called a viewfinder. And this is simply a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard that has a hole cut out in the middle. And you'll use this to help frame your photographs or your compositions as you make your art today. And mine has a hole that is 4 inches by 3 inches. You will also need a piece of paper, an 11-inch by 17-inch piece of paper, an eraser, a pencil, and some kind of device, ideally, that you could take photos with, such as a phone or an iPad, and also some food. I just have some items from my snack here, so an apple and a few crackers and a few other things. And you'll then just need yourself and possibly a partner to work with to create your art. To start playing with this idea of the frame, you could head outside and bring your viewfinder with you and use it to look for details in the environment that you might want to highlight. So that could be a crack in the pavement, or maybe an interesting arrangement of leaves that have fallen on the ground. You could also even play with creating your own little arrangements or compositions on the ground. And then you could find a way to frame or highlight those compositions that you found. So they could be really teensy tiny things or larger things. You could maybe use sticks or stones or other things to create a frame around these details, being careful, of course, not to disturb the environment or gardens. And then you could take a photograph if you wish to capture what you've created. And you can see a couple examples here of what I've done, highlighting a few leaves that I came across. I also made a little composition, and I hope that as people walk by in the next couple hours, they will maybe smile seeing these little compositions outside that I've framed. Now you're going to take your viewfinder and trace it onto your big piece of paper 6 times. So when you're done, it will look something like this. Next, choose some items of food that you want to use for creating a still life, and then consider a location where you want to place these. I've made a little spot here behind me, and so think about what will surround your still life. Think about color and pattern and lighting. And then play around with your viewfinder and look at your arrangement in different ways and play around with ways to frame your still life. And then you could work with a partner to create different arrangements and then incorporate different parts of your body into those arrangements. So you could perhaps be arranging those items of food and incorporating maybe your hand or your elbow, and your partner could take photos for you. Or you could direct your partner to be in the photo and to arrange the items, and you could sketch and use your viewfinder as your partner is moving the still life around. And so what you want to do is capture 6 different compositions, and you're going to sketch them in the little squares or rectangles that you traced onto your big sheet of paper. And so in these sketches, you're just capturing the most basic shapes. We're not doing detailed drawings here. So no shading and other details or textures. It's just the large shapes. And so you can see in my drawings, I've done some compositions that are in a horizontal orientation and some that are in a vertical orientation. And so once you've created and captured 6 different compositions, choose the 3 that you like the best. And then if you have a way of taking pictures, so camera or cell phone, you can take these photos and perhaps further edit them and print them out. Or if you don't have a way of taking pictures, you can use your drawings and further develop them. Perhaps you could blow up your original sketches and create a more detailed drawing or a painting. So I looked at my finished sketches and selected my 3 favorite compositions. And then I took those photos and further edited them. You can see them here. And then I played around with the order in which I would display these images. So once you have chosen your 3 images, think about them as a series and play around with the order in which you show them, and think about how this might affect meaning in your artwork or in your series. So thank you so much for joining me for this AFK ArtReach video. We would love to see the art that you create, and you could share it by posting it on Instagram and use the hashtag AFK ArtReach, or you could email us images of your finished art. So please do join us again and check back in the coming weeks for our next AFK ArtReach videos.